Poetry is not what we do. Poetry is who we are. We live poetry. We eat poetry. We make love.
This love is 3D. We're at the confluence of technology. Our souls meet like two streams, sharing each other's dreams.
Time waits for no one, so why should we wait for time? Life's a continuous race. You can't slow down, man, even when you see the finish line.
Where were you when I sat in the labyrinths of the dark night, cooking words like a chef making fish
To change
stew?
the worries, to eat and dress in a style that define you without thinking what the round table people would think
My
about
ink
you.
don't go astray like prodigal son. They squander all my thoughts inside this brain bank. It don't lose God.
Why do the old folks think they know everything? You fail to understand you're not living the times I'm living in. You can see from the start, with 30 years apart, I have new blood while you're still sustained by an old heart.
That without which you would have never existed.
What up, people? Poets Preach Peace, PPP. Yeah, it's so good to be seeing these beautiful faces, as in wonderful faces. It's not going to be proper for us to just talk about peace. We preach peace, and we forget to talk about the Prince of Peace. So that's what I'm going to be doing with my first poem. It's titled If God. If God wasn't God, I won't be doing this piece. This message is not of war, but of peace. It's about the Prince of Peace, the merciful one who is God in the winter, spring, and even after the fall, still remained Adam and Eve's God. If God didn't create Apple, would we be having iPod? He is far the most creative. Though he doesn't take codeine, he still remains the most high God. If God didn't create language, I wonder what these programmers will be decoding. If God didn't give the 10 commandments, would you be having tablets? If God doesn't change lives, would you be having polls? He's the best author, loves writing, and far before Facebook existed, he had been writing on walls. Far before Twitter came, he had been asking for follow backs. Do you know if God had an album, you'll be mentioned in all the tracks? If God was on BBM, your picture would be his TP, his PM would be, it's because of you I never feel sleepy. So how dare you say if God was God, he would not make you suffer any harm? No. Even the Bible says you will face many trials, but you have overcome. You have far more powers than the products of Kanji Dam. So don't say damn, stay calm. That's the reason he wrote you the book of Psalms. If God was to share his properties, you are number one in his will. He's so rich that if he's given a car, he would only take the wheels. If God was a footballer, he would be playing from the center. Jaira would be written at his back because he always supplies, he never makes us lack. He treats us as celebs and stoops so low he decides to be our fan. He desperately needed to reach us, so he came down as a man. We were like prostitutes hurrying after other gods. We were slaves to pride. It's bad habits, perfume we smell, use, wear. We were deep in sin. Oh, did I just use wear? Sorry, I lied. Do you know if God was to marry, you would still be his bride? He already did. The ceremony was on the cross. Until date, we still have the reception. That's why you can easily call on God and he moves for the cause. Now, this might sound like a taboo, but you know God so much loves you that in Isaiah 49, he used your picture as his tattoo. If God was to do this poem, it won't be if God, it will probably be if I. If God enters a bank, it will be to save his children. If God was to save just one person, it will definitely be you. Yeah, thank you. My second piece came about as a result of what I read about a particular research that was carried out that 70% of Nigerian women bleach. As in, it's outrageous, it's crazy, 70%. Well, so the title of my last piece is Light Skinned. Have you ever been hated or discriminated against? I have not. But Dakore has lived a life of danger. She was only a teenager, but she didn't understand why people just kept on hating, like the number after 17. She was only 16, ahead of 15 different battles she fought in. Did at least 13 of you see that countdown? This became her favorite game, counting down to the day she would leave this world she lives in. She could walk but saw herself lame because of the difficulty in standing for what she believes in. All started when people kept taunting her with the word blackie. Her skin color started reflecting on her inside. Her world became dark, like it's being controlled by PHCN, and her heart had no gen. She couldn't attract men. If a guy phoned her, it was always the wrong number. If a guy comes visiting, it turns out to be the plumber. She felt all her friends got all the guys because they were light-skinned. She had studied the statistics, and from a long range, you would see that her thinking mode had undergone standard deviation from an excellent mind to just being average, so that with no atom of variance, she really turned mean. Though she wore tight jeans, no guy took her out, just like a car without an engine. She blamed it all on her dark skin. She was sure her dark skin made her lose her modeling job. She spent days scrubbing her body with iron sponge in the bathtub. She stayed near fire, soaked herself in steam. It's obvious she's suffering from low self-esteem. She called this process the tunnel, thinking at the end of it all, she would probably see the light, but still she remained dark-skinned. She felt the government was against her. Why would her NYSC be in Enugu, the coal city? Her parents must be against her. Her parents must be against her. Why would her name be Dark or Ray? Even the name is mocking her. This isn't pretty. She begged everyone to call her by her other name, but no one would call her light on. She tried to electrocute herself. Maybe that would turn the light on, but still she remained dark-skinned. She desperately wanted to be light-skinned. All her efforts were like visiting Senegal's capital. She went Dakar. Her life wasn't fair. Her life wasn't fair, so she was tempted to bleach it. One day, she saw her roommate's bleaching cream on the shelf and stretched her hands in order to reach it. She heard voices in her head, so she picked it, dropped it, picked it, dropped it, picked it, dropped it, picked it again, dropped it, picked it. What a task until a voice in her head said, "You are not in a gym. Carry this cream and use it. It will definitely help you remove the mask." Wow, I'm shocked. It worked. It helped remove the mask. The mask called melanin. She became a traffic light, first turned amber, then later turned green. Though she became light, her soul grew heavy. Body was like a frog, it was ready to be towed. Unlike a semiconductor conducting electric currents in one direction. She didn't die old. It was at Dakore's funeral we discovered that she died of skin cancer. There we met many guys that admired her dark skin, wanted to ask her out, but were too scared to get a negative answer. Please. Don't let your life end up like this. If you are dark-skinned, you are beautiful as you are, don't bleach, man. Don't even try to tone. Remember, the Bible says that you are God's clone. You don't need to be light-skinned to be attractive. God saw your skin color and still you were called. And if at all you must bleach, let it be your dark heart, dark mind, dark soul. Then watch yourself become the light of the world.